Alright, chat, it is time to do some reaction. Andy, yes, Red Flame, the guy again. It's time back to our favorite boy, Red Flame, yes. And yeah, this video set a bit late, one week ago. Why server exposes everything wrong with Nihility apparently. 12 minutes. I probably can jump for like 1 hour. Don't know about my voice, or my voice will probably dead, really. Alright, time to do some reaction, Andy then. Why not?
I was honestly really surprised to find out that Cypher's addition to Honkai Starrail means that the Nihility path is tied for the most characters in the game.
Wait, really? I thought it was like destruction though. Definitely not preservation. I didn't know that. I thought this might be what? Destruction or the hunt then. Not the hunt, or like harmony. Really? Okay, sure.
Game right now, alongside
Okay, it's like one less. The second one less, but it's matter one less.
destruction. That'll change very soon, but it's still interesting. I think it feels wrong because Nihility units are basically split into two categories, being damage amplifying debuffers and
Dude, hold on, what? Go back again?
Nihility units are basically split into two categories, being damage amplifying
Damage amplifying debuffer. What do you mean by that? Damage amplifying debuffer. Can you say like a debuffer or something?
debuffers and DOT DPSs. Technically, they are both under the Nihility umbrella because they all do have debuffs in their kits somewhere, but they really could not play any more differently, unlike the other paths, which generally stick to a
Okay, low-key, right? Low-key. If they make like DOT a different path, what could it be then? What could DOT even be? If it was a separate path, right? Because what? If you think about it, right? Is what? It's damage over time. So it's a debuff in a way. So yes, it is Nihility. So what is it like? What it could? What I don't think it can be elation. I don't think it can be like permanence or something, right? It feel like a Nihility because it debuff whatever. Support in short, true.
consistent formula. Well, besides Remembrance, of course. DOT might be on a comeback soon with Kafka's buffs and
Might be though, might be, but like DOT is making so much damage though. Like DOT has a good game plan. You always E on Kafka, you E on Black Sun once and keep not moving. And then yeah, that's the game plan. Though that game plan is very good, the damage wise not good. Sustaining wise, I think we are fine. But yeah, the damaging wise is very fucking bad really.
And
not sure about High Cylinder, not sure about that because I heard some friends talk about her. She like replays. She's not a support like Black Swan. No, not support like Runway. You're supposed to play her also as a DOT amplifier like Black Swan. So yeah, not sure about this cutter at all really on the DOT team. Like if she's a better Black Swan, then sure that's fine. But I feel like we need a cutter that amplify DOT, not like also apply DOT as Black Swan as well. But still, like we need someone to replace Runway in the team, or like Robin or whatever, right?
Hysolins as a possible new bleed DOT user in 3.5 because she's physical, but the other half still continues to be in a pretty bad spot within the game's design. You might think that's a weird thing to say because we just got Cypher, who has some really unique and interesting gameplay. But the more you look into the fine details of her kit, the more you realize just how many hoops the design team had to jump through to put her on par with other characters due to the many inherent drawbacks Nihility has.
Wait, drawback? Nihilities? What?
But before that, this video
sponsor, I don't care.
Wouldn't it be a profound statement to say that effect hit rate as a stat is pretty awful in basic?
Okay, you know what? Effect hit rates is like EM, right? In Genshin, it is good, but it's only good for a few characters.
Basically,
you also yes, you do want EM. No, but not oversight into EM though, is it? Exactly like EHR. You maybe want EHR. You know, hold on. Okay, no, it is like EM at worst because on in Genshin EM is like ironic EM, but in starrail only like the debuffer need EHR, the rest doesn't. So yeah, okay.
Every way possible. Its purpose is to increase the chance of a debuff application landing by taking the base chance, determined by the ability used, then increasing it by multiplying the character's effect hit rate stat, while simultaneously decreasing by multiplying the enemy's effect resistance stat. So for example, a 100% base
Okay.
chance debuff against an enemy with 40%
Oh my
effect
god, right. Oh my
resistance, which is the standard for endgame
math.
bosses, requires
Math.
66.7% effect hit rate to be a guaranteed application.
Math.
Conceptually, this is a fine idea, though the lack of
Okay.
information in game regarding how it works
No,
does
true.
already make it a source
Yeah, so every honkai game, every Hojo game doesn't explain this. Even in Genshin as well, right? The EM thing, ER thing, whatever, they never explain this at all. They never do it.
of confusion. Every character in starrail scales off of particular stats to make them perform better with higher level, upgraded builds, and stronger teammate buffs. Everyone generally wants speed, but DPSs also need attack and crit, healers want HP,
Okay.
and shielders want defense. Harmony units aren't as straightforward, so the devs just opted to have each one scale with whatever stat they're boosting, such as crit damage or break effect. Nihility could have went the same direction with their debuffs, reducing enemy stats more based on the applicator stats, but they ultimately
Wait, hold on. Okay, so what he's saying here is what? They could apply the harmony thing to Nihility? But isn't it the exact same thing now? Like, let's say Silver Wolf increase enemy damage taken by crit damage by the percent of her crit damage, right? Isn't that the exact same thing as harmony? Though the difference is that it's on the enemy team, aside from your team now. Like, that's the only difference, right? Which would make the game extremely boring though, isn't it? Harmony is guaranteed. However, Nihility, right? If they do the same thing, but the catch is that there's a chance that it didn't effect. That would be like the shittiest thing ever, right? Isn't it? Like, who the fuck would roll for Nihility? If that's the case, then I don't know.
decided to go with effect hit rate.
Hold on, chat. Hold on. Oh my god. Okay, someone just like knock my door and stuff. Absolutely right, but yeah, okay. But yeah, so I was fucking saying here. I forgot already. So let's go with the video then. I legit just forgot what to talk about, bro.
Maybe it's because they thought direct stat scaling could lead to unintended behavior, like reducing an enemy's attack or speed to 0 with a strong enough build, or maybe they just wanted debuffs to scale in a unique way. In the end, effect hit rate certainly does fill the role of a stat which debuffer type units can make use of, but the way it uniquely functions has no real upsides and some pretty big downsides.
Big downside?
The way it works means that it acts more so as a
What is this? Directly proportional damage revision threshold? Yes, or damage contribution. Okay, sure. Okay, keep going.
threshold compared to the typical proportional scaling. I mean, sure, you could play without your debuffs being guaranteed, but for most characters this completely ruins the flow of their gameplay. Like if Pela misses the application for her 40% defense shred on her
Effect rest diff. Effect rest diff. Effect rest diff.
ultimate, you won't get another chance to try again for a few turns. So that leads to the case where EHR is very important for your debuffer's consistency, but at the same time, even a single percent.
Okay, so exactly the same as like EM, right? No, it is not really that one, but it's like more of this one. But hold on. Let's say the same. Okay, let's say like EM, right? Who like need EM the most? Okay, let's say for who target, right? When you play Vape or Melt team comp, you don't need EM subset really. You don't want most to go to EM. You want most to go to like crit damage, right? Normally. So if you want to like go into EM who tau DPS, this would be the I think this would be the graph, right? Like there should be a threshold of EM that you need to pass to make her damage viable the same thing as crit damage, right? I'm pretty sure no. I've barely been playing Genshin at all, so I don't know about the math, but I think it should be the same thing for EHR in Genshin, no, in starrail. While you need a certain amount of EHR to work, the same thing as EM. To make Hu Tao work, the same thing as crit Hu Tao, right, or something. Like what EM is like much more what do you call it again? Much more forgivable than crit damage, I guess. But yeah, I think that's like the same thing. We can compare to EM to EHR.
More than the guaranteed threshold is completely useless. This feels especially annoying to build around with the torture that is relic sub.
No, dude, imagine fucking can't even get the buff on the enemy. So Arctron just missing out the ult for 2 turns or something, bro. Would be so funny though, not gonna lie.
Set rolls, but also the game doesn't tell you how much you'll need or how much is excess.
Okay, that's the same thing for every game, bruh.
Whereas every other set you want as much as possible. Even speed with its breakpoints gets.
Okay, like the game also didn't tell you this, right? Like you also need to study this thing as well. Like, okay. What do you call it again? The same thing EHR, right? They don't tell you how much EHR you need. They also tell you how much speed you need to make this work. It's the same thing, man. It's the same thing. Though I guess no, both the same math, isn't it? Yeah.
Value out of small additions.
Hold on. 144. What the fuck is this cycle thing? 144 minimum. What the fuck is this? Plus, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck this thing is, bro.
Over the course of many
My
turns.
brain stopped working now, bro.
Because of this, each debuffer ceiling was more or less defined at the time of their release, making their utility basically impossible to indirectly buff.
This game in the gap set. Okay.
With new teammates or equipment. It's not a coincidence that both of the limited 5-star Nihility characters from version 1 make up half of the 3.4 direct buff list. In a broader context, effect hit rate also stands out.
What?
Half of the 3.4. Both of the limited 5-star Nihility characters from version 1 make up half of the 3.4 direct.
Okay, I don't think that's the reason why though. Wait, hold on. What is the reason again? That's the fact that Seal Wolf and Kafka is in the buffing list. What?
Impossible to indirectly buff with new teammates or equipment. It's not a coincidence.
Hold on.
Each debuffer ceiling was more or less defined at the time of their release, making their utility basically impossible to indirectly buff with new teammates.
I don't think so though. Okay, I'm guessing what he's saying, right, is that due to the fact that HR is so niche, the devs have no idea on how to buff them. And how to like make new characters that could directly make them better, I guess. I don't think that's true, right? Okay. So he's saying that's why Silver Wolf and Cafe in the list. Because they are Nihility and they depend on EHR. I don't think so because one, I don't think EHR define them what they are, right? Because for Silver Wolf, she's a very shit kid. Her ultimate is one single target. Her E is very random. And what else aside from that? No, I think mostly due to the fact that her ultimate is so low. I can't speak. Hold on. The reason why Silver Wolf is shit because her ultimate it's single targeted. Therefore, they're buffing her to make it AoE. So that's so much better as well. Especially for like any fucking characters. Just imagine a 44 defense threat on a single enemy. That is like the shittest feeling ever, isn't it? And for Kappa, I think reason why they're buffing her is because DOT is so shit in general. Because there's no good DOT buffer, let's say that. Example, right? For hyper carry, there's so many good hyper carry buffer. Robin, Sunday, Sparkle, who else? I don't know who, but you know what I mean, right? Like, they've been releasing so much characters that are so good for the archetypes, aside from the fact that they don't know how to do for DOT. Apparently so. So therefore they are buffing Kafka for the reason. Because DOT has been so shit lately. So they are buffing her. Okay, I cannot fucking read the chat right now, hold on. Because the YouTube is not resetting at all. Hold on. Question, how much action value in the huh? Question, how much action value in the first second MC? Hold on, what? Hold on. Let me go back. Let me go back. How much action value is in the first second of MOC? Dude, you're asking me like I'm a fucking encyclopedia, bro. I have no idea, brother. I don't fucking know. I don't play the game that deep, bro. I'm not that smart. Like, come on, man. It's Friday already, bro. I'm fucking stupid, bro. I'm stupid. Silver Wolves competing with a 4-star? Yeah, no. What, with Palarise in it? Like, yeah, that's fucking me, man, now. But yeah, what, I think Pala's better because her ultimate is AoE, isn't it? Right? I think so. I don't think her ultimate is... Hold on, let me check again. To make sure I'm not high on drugs. That's Pala ultimate is AoE.
Percent definitely ruins the flow.
Yeah, Pala ultimate is AoE. Okay. So yeah, that reason why Pala's better. Because her ultimate is AoE. So I think it's better to have like less defense strength but AoE than higher defense strength but single target.
Make up half of the 3.4 direct buff list.
So like so they just make Silver Wolf a Pala better.
Broader context, effect hit rate also stands out because of how insanely exclusive it is. Out of the 12 available relic substats,
okay,
it is by far the most useless one.
No, it is not. Explain, right? Let me explain. Okay. Break Effect, useless aside from Super Break. EHR, useless aside from Debuffer. Effect Rash, useful, but generally useless. Generally, I think either Break Effect or EHR, they are the worst one out of all. Because in most cases, you don't even need Break Effect, bro. Like, you don't even need break aside from super build. You don't need that shit anymore, bro. Need Wolf is strong hell what? Need Wolf is strong as hell though. Yeah, I know. Fix now how many require HR to apply buff. Dude, it's gonna be so good, not gonna lie. Dude, imagine that, man. Holy fuck. Dude, low key though? Low key. I think they'll make how many feel so much better, not lie. I think that would generally make Harmony feel so much better to play with. Because due to the fact that there are no downside to playing Harmony at all. Like, there are absolutely no downside to playing them. Aside from the fact that they're squishy. And that's it. There are costs for you to play Nihility. And that is to have EHR. What, for Harmony? Absolute nothing at all. I think that would be so good though. On Harmony. Like, you need to have a cost to make them feel like not as strong, I guess. But yeah, I don't think adding EHR to Harmony is that bad, because it is very easy to achieve the threshold. It's very easy. But it would like make them have more cost to play with, let's say that, and not just us free. And like, we need to make like Robin or Sunday feel more, I guess feel more harder or something to build. Than just go full speed, right? Be so good though. How many starrail? True though, that's true.
One, as it literally does not do a single thing for the majority.
What is this? Can you ESR? I don't know, bro. Okay. Debuffer agreed that or Nihility true. Asta, no. Godprod for freezing, I guess. Apply lightning, swarm, burn, not at all. Like, most of them don't even need EHR though, is it? Like, as long as you are not a Nihility, you don't need EHR though, right?
Of characters on the roster who don't have debuffs with a % chance of landing. Even the other less usable substats like break effect and effect resistance are still
Hold on.
landing.
Okay. One thing I want to say. This is the list of EHR, right? Of people that can use EHR. Tell me, of all this list, who can use break? Firefly, Boothill, Rapper. Who else can use break? Viable DPS break. An example might be Linkshire as well, Gallagher as well. Who else? Need break. That's generally is, bro. No one else. Break. Yeah. What? One, 2, 3, 4. Gallagher's 5. Boyo 6. 6 characters that can use break effectively, bro. Like, you can't tell me, man. Like, fuck off. Su Shang. Okay, right, sure, right. Fucking break Su Shang. Oh, yeah, Suji as well. So, what, 8 characters compared to all these EHR characters? Like, come on. Like, you can't tell me break is more useless. No, you can't tell me that EHR is more useless than break. Break is so shit, by the way. Oh my god.
At the very least capable of contributing something to every character.
Hold on.
Resistance are still at even the other less usable substats like break effect and effect resistance are
No, dude, 5k break. 5k break. And you're telling me that's good, by the way. 5k break and you tell me that's good. Fuck me, bro. Effect rise is good. Effect rise is very good. Also, they can make super EHR, like super EHR Nihility super. Dude, pick, bro, pick.
still at the very least capable of contributing something to every character in the game.
Bro, guarantee break, guarantee crit, duty. Be so good. Holy pulse frame, man. Oh my god. Break in subset outside from break is cope, not gonna lie. Yeah, exactly. I can't believe in early game, right? People were saying break is good, by the way. Like in like 1.0, 1.2, 1. Something. They say like break is so good. Like, I can't believe it, bro.
Game's early era, it was a little bit different, as we had some non-Nihility characters with percent chance debuffs. For example, Himeko's Fire DOT had a 50% base chance.
Dude, the DOT does nothing, by the way. The DOT does suggestion damage, man. It does nothing
On her attacks, which didn't contribute much damage on its own, but increased her skill damage by 20%.
Skill does nothing, bro. Skill does nothing.
Then
the only thing that Chelsea does, the old damage is from the ult and the follow-up. And
we
that's
also had Don Hung Slow, which has a 100%
This doesn't fucking matter at all. This doesn't matter.
base chance to reduce speed when critting, which was also relevant for his personal damage. A handful only have it as a part of their technique's effect. This did succeed in making it feel less bad when getting effect hit rate on a piece for one of these units, but
Hold on. I always thought that Ying Liu freeze guarantee, bro. Is it not guarantee? I thought it's always guarantee.
at the same time, it was difficult to justify intentionally building it due to the value of raw offensive stats. In the end, having these RNG aspects made these characters more inconvenient to use than they really should have been, because occasionally a core part of their gameplay design would miss and have zero effect due to pure luck. The devs clearly recognized this, so for future characters that very obviously wanted to build other stats over effect hit rate, they made it so their debuffs would always be applied guaranteed.
Wait, really?
Not a single mention of a base chance.
Oh wow, that's okay, brother. Those characters are not Nihility, bro. Those characters are not Nihility, isn't it? They're not Nihility. They're not Nihility, right? Like those characters that apply debuff, they're not Nihility, right? Like every Nihility character I can't speak. My throat dying. Characters that are not Nihility, they don't need HR. Yeah, no shit. HR is designed for Nihility characters. Like, okay, aside from Fugui don't need that at all. Aside from Fugui, by the way, aside from Fugui. But yeah, almost every Nihility characters need EHR. And that's what, I think that's it, right? And, what, Cypher? Well, how you sign Cypher is guarantee? Cypher is not guaranteed though. Cypher is still base chance. You need EHR on Cypher. And other character, what? Lingsha, Aventurine. Who else apply debuff? Gallagher as well. Those characters are not fucking debuffers. They are fucking healer and shit. Vulnerability? This guarantee, is it? I thought it's always oh fuck me. I thought you also need by chance another one. This guarantee? Hold on. Cypher. What's the thing? Not that. Not here? Unique. Not that. Why do you read the finger? There we go. Cypher is on the battlefield. Enemies. Okay, that's guarantee. Okay, I see. I didn't know that. Hold on, what the fuck the E do then? The E. Okay, the E is still a fucking base chance, really. The E is base chance, unlike the unlike the fucking guarantee then. The most nitty trait needing crit in the edge or attack and speed. Suffer get crit suffer free by building speed. Hold on. The most nitty trait needing crit for each or attack and speed. Okay, to be fair, they are called the buffer version, right? And not the DPS. Okay, unlike Kafka and Cypher and stuff, they're called a debuffer version. Therefore, they don't need crit, right? Example, like same thing for Harmony, right? They call a buffer version. They call support version because they don't need crit at all. They need attacking speed. So yeah. No, again, the buffer they have much worse than Harmony because you need EHR for Nihility, and like for Harmony, you need nothing at all. So, yeah. And yeah, Cypher is like also have a built-in stuff for DPS as well, which is only for support, only for ultimate stuff. Yeah, that's how they make a debuff for DPS is that they built the true damage thing in the ultimate, so you don't need to care about the created something credit you get for free from the tracers and stuff. So yeah, I think that's a way. So yeah, I think that's a way they can make fucking a debuff for a DPS. Oh my god, dude, my voice is slowly going away now.
Take for example Gallagher, who already wants to build outgoing healing, speed, and break effect, so having his ultimate and enhanced basic attacks debuffs be guaranteed without any EHR makes him overall very consistent. This would be
Because he's a healer, by the way, he's a healer.
The first of many steps towards making the stat less of a frustration to have to deal with, but at the same time making it more and more irrelevant. Nihility characters are forced to use effect hit rate because they're the only characters it makes sense on, but needing it is strictly a downgrade compared to other characters who don't. It would be one thing if particularly strong effects were balanced out by inconsistency, but you're intended to have guaranteed debuffs with enough EHR, so that'll never be the case. Another design trick they used was adding additional scaling to specific characters to make EHR scale more similarly to other stats, as seen with Black Swan's increased damage percent and Jiaocho's attack boost. There is still an upper limit, as is typical with keeping these kinds of alternate scalings in check, but they're high enough to where you are much less likely to hit that stat ceiling, and you're focusing most of your effort into that one stat. These two are getting a bit old by this point though, crazy as it is to say, so
holy old man, last year bro, holy shit.
Of the more recent debuffers managed to deal with effect hit rate? Well, they more or less completely ignore it. Fugue and Cypher are surprisingly similar in this respect. They each only have one debuff in their kits that has a % chance of landing, and that base chance is high enough to where an EHR body relic covers most of what they need.
Hold on, is that to wear an initial body? I mean, isn't it like most characters well now? Like Kafka last one, right? I'm pretty sure you only need EHR bodies. Maybe you also need EHR on other subsides as well, but I think that's fun. That's for every character, no? Oh my god. Anyway, yeah. Global passive, 100% debuff chance. Dude, insane, bro. Hassan, Hassan. Put that fries in the back. Yo, chill, yo, jobless. True, bro. True. Ah.
But also, if you were to run into the small chance of not hitting it, it's not nearly as big of a deal because these debuffs take up a relatively small portion of their overall kit. The majority of their usefulness
Okay, to be for full weight, right? Full weight, she's more buffer than a debuffer, really.
comes from their effects that are guaranteed by them just existing on the field, with Fugue's second toughness bar for enemies allowing for double breaks, and
Like, yeah, full weight is like a fucking fuck Nihility, bro. Like, full weight can be how many characters, and it doesn't matter at all.
Cypher's 40% increased damage taken by enemies, on top of the true damage ultimate stacks she accumulates from the team's damage. In fact, the game doesn't even recommend that you build effect hit rate on Cypher to begin with. Not having to build much effect hit rate also frees them up to build the other stats they much prefer for their own kits, in part due to the bonuses they get from their Ascension passives. Not having to deal with AHR is certainly one driving reason for the change in debuffer design, but there's also the general downsides of debuffs as a mechanic too. The big one is that having it be applied to enemies can heavily interrupt the uptime on your damage amp without it really being in your control.
Okay, you know what? Dude, I think that argument, right, is such a fucking harmony shit, bro. Like, oh my god. Dude, that is such a fucking, like, a harmony shields or something. Dude, the fact that what the debuffing relies on the fact enemies on field, bro, that's such a harmony thing. Dude, that is like the argument of saying, yeah, harmony is so much better than Nihility because harmony stay there. Whereas for Nihility, right, the debuff gone when enemy dies. Exact same fucking argument, man. Holy shit. But no, I think, but you know, mostly the two the same thing, right? Because what? For the, okay, what he has done is that he kills the first wave. The first wave is the minions, right? Which, you know, the one, sure. But for the boss phase, I'm pretty sure the debuff is gonna be there almost forever, isn't it? The same thing for harmony. When buffing your own self, right? It's the same thing. If she's harmony, then DDD, bro. No, that's true, yeah. Dude, it just make what again? Just like better HMC, which is impossible, bro.
If you defeat an enemy and they get replaced, those new enemies
Hold
won't
on,
have
they can sell DDS add-on? Isn't it? What? DDS add-on? No way. Were you lying? Are you lying, bro? Are you fucking lying? What's fuck weird, bro? Fuck me. Really? Add-on? Are you lying? Add-on. No, you're lying, bro. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying, bro. You're lying, bro. You're lying, bro. You're lying. You're lying. E2? Oh, yes, E2, yeah, isn't it? Oh, fuck me, it's E2-0. Holy shit. Alright. I didn't know that. Fuck me. Holy sellers, man. Holy sales. Holy shit. Alright. Losing all your debuff during his phase change feels bad. Yeah, but like, I think you apply enough debuff to make sure that this doesn't matter, doesn't it? Like the same thing for harmony, right? You always what it again? You always like press E on Sunday. You always press E on Robin. You always press E on Sparkle and that stuff, right? It's the same thing for harmony. The same thing for Unity. The debuff gone. The same way as you always have to press E and shit on the Sunday and stuff. Exact same thing, bro. It doesn't matter at all.
the same debuff.
No, might be, Sunday is a harmony, therefore his buff is way much better than Silver Wolf debuff, but I think basically both are the same thing, I guess.
On them, but if you are using any modern harmony unit, you'll have 100% uptime on your buffs no matter what the enemy lineup looks like.
Yeah, basically fucking harmony shields. Legit, the game, harmony triple bro. What, harmony starrail, holy shit.
Zhao Cho has some personal mechanics to help deal with this, but that's only for him. It seems like recently they've made it so bosses when transitioning to their second health bar don't automatically lose all of their debuffs like before, which is a step in the right direction.
I don't think it's that hard to get the debuff back, right? It should be easy, no? I don't think that hard at all.
But it's not quite universally consistent yet. For the rest of the cast, Harmony has this big inherent advantage, yet Nihility and debuffs as a mechanic simply doesn't have an equivalent upside within the same role of damage amplification. Before Ronmei, limited turn buffs would expire really quickly on faster attackers, giving debuffs that acted independent of your DPS's turns a situational edge. However, both paths have essentially converged on the same design of powerful team-wide damage amplification with easy 100% uptime, making them feel much less distinct from one another. Sure, they still technically differ in affecting team.
So what he's saying is true. Basically, Harmony and Nihility both are the same shit, bro. Both are the same thing, bro. It's the same thing, exact same thing. Doesn't matter, bro. Like both buffing your damage, basically the same thing.
Mates or enemies, but functionally they might as well be the same.
That's true.
After double checking, that's not exactly true.
What?
True either.
No, same shit, bro. Doesn't matter.
In the end, the discussion always seems to come back around to power creep. At the start of the game's lifespan, the 7 paths were balanced fairly well.
Hold on, what is it? Hold on. Dude, you can apply the same thing for Sunday though, isn't it? The exact same thing for Sunday though. Same thing for Sunday. Same thing.
At the start of the game's lifespan, the 7 paths were balanced fairly well. Each had unique situations they thrive in, so team building encouraged mixing and matching from a wide variety of characters. However, in order to sell new units, they need to be strong, and one aspect of character strength is how easy they are to use. But once a top tier sets a new standard, the next characters have to follow suit, ultimately resulting in the homogenization of the damage amplifier role. Of course, it would have been extremely difficult to account for all of this happening when the paths were initially designed, but the fact that the system mechanics have not evolved alongside the game's characters is what has led us to this point. Debuffs and effect hit rate deserve to be reworked to give them back some kind of unique strength to call their own, but for the developers...
No, I think the only thing need to rework is that the debuffing, right? I think the EHR and the series is fine. The problem is that the harmony has gone so much better than the debuffer. That means that the debuffer is not even worth it to roll, right? Because the fucking harmony is so much more broken.
There's no
so if they make the Nihility, what the fuck they do? The fuck with that? What the fuck? Whoa, what the fuck is this one like that? The fuck? Okay, whatever. So yeah, I think if they make like a Nihility unit, the same thing as Sunday, I think the same thing happened, bro. The same unit happened. Right?
True incentive to do so. One suggestion
the only problem is that they make harmony so much better though.
I thought made a lot of sense was
harmony and Nihility should be on the same level. Yeah,
into a single stat, making those who build it more consistent defensively. It also wouldn't interfere at all with existing relics, making it fairly realistic.
I don't really know, bro. I don't really know. I think both should be the same. I think both should be like different stats.
However,
yeah, sure, I know building relic is harder, but do you care at all, man? Do you care at that point, bro? Do you even care at that point? The building relics much more harder, bro. Do you even care?
Implementing such a change now would also be pretty futile at this point, because healers have progressed to a state where they already make incoming crowd control basically a
no, that's true.
I suppose you could say that Acheron's teams heavily benefiting from Nihility path characters and frequent debuff applications is a distinct gameplay role in a sense, but having that be entirely dependent on a single premium character doesn't really seem fair. Nihility does still have the DOT archetype at the very least, but for its debuffing supports, they're practically forced to only work when the designers completely ignore what made them different in the first place, with design that is only roundabout because they won't fix the root of the problems. Like even with Silverwolf, they gave her additional scaling from EHR while also reducing the amount she needs because she previously had the highest requirements but didn't really get that much out of it. I don't know. Maybe it's just time to move on and accept that paths are not as much of a core part of the game's identity as they used to be, especially considering that 3.5 is yet another update with preservation nowhere to be seen. Subscribe for more starrail discussion videos, and I've also recently opened up channel memberships if you'd like to support me and get access to member-only community posts. But
no, true. They should add more preservation character online. They should add more, bro. That's true. That's so true. Okay. God, my nose so dead now. Fuck me. My throat so dead as well. Holy shit, I'm so dying. What is this? Definitely should have been make effective rate boost damage down so that starts. No, it's too broken. No, it's too broken. Boost damage down is way too good, bro. It's way too fucking good. I don't think. No, it's way too good. I can't act. No, it's way too good, bro. I can't. It's way too good. Unless somehow they make it so balanced. I don't think they can. This is way too good. Imperfect war perform who make sure. Okay, whatever. Infantry and was both preservation, savior, and root of its downfall. True, though, that's true, yeah.
And accept that paths are not as much of a core part of the game's identity.
True, bro, true. So true, pussy. Imagine if you needed a figure to country buff being applied. Dude, that's so true, man. That's so fucking true. Holy pig, that's so true, yeah. You watched the Wage Man wheelchair video? No, not yet, no. You're not ready for Diamond Revive Preservation? Sure, bro, sure. Okay, that's for the reaction for today. I think overall it's fine. I guess it's very fine. Nothing very special, but yeah. Once again, go subscribe to the boy. You know, we always go react to the guy. So you watch the guy like the videos as well. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.